We brought together 7 Christians.
I'm a Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am a Christian.
I'm a human, and I'm coming.
Right off the bat, I'm most suspicious of Andrew and Brandon. They look a little bit smug, especially Brandon. And Brandon really looks like he's hiding something. So just based off of appearance alone, that's who my vote is going for. Yeah, I think it's Brandon.
1 is a liar. If the group discovers who the liar is, they'll split a cash prize. If the liar survives, he or she wins the entire prize.
Oh boy, okay.
All right, here we go.
Do you go to a church?
Yes, I do.
That's a great question.
That's not really a great question, though, because not all Christians go to church. Now, I did as a Christian, and the denomination that I grew up in, they wanted you to go to church whenever the doors were open, and they highly condemned if you ever missed a service at your church. So, you know, if your church had Sunday morning, Sunday evening, and Wednesday night services, you better be at every one of those. And if your church had a gospel meeting or gospel singing, you better be there too. And so, yeah, for me growing up, going to church was something that I did. But I'm also aware that a lot of Christians don't go to church. So that's not really a great question.
I don't know where to even start.
I was going into it thinking about myself and how I present myself. I thought people would be like, oh, she's not a Christian.
See, that's exactly why I think Sierra is a Christian, because she looks the least like a Christian. And so Jubilee kind of threw her in there just to throw everybody off their game. But I'm not biting that. I think Sierra definitely is a Christian.
Hey, Chance.
Yes.
Tell me about a religious experience of yours.
A religious experience of mine?
Something profound.
Something profound. I saw an angel once when I was like 9 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was really cool. It was creepy, but like in the moment, like it was just like stillness and like really awesome.
That's not the best question either, because a lot of Christians like what I used to be, and the denomination, the Christian denomination that I grew up in, we didn't really believe in having these crazy experiences. You know, we didn't believe that God spoke to us like directly, like, you know, verbally, vocally. We didn't believe that we received visions in our dreams, or that we received prophecy and stuff like that. So I don't know hardly anybody in the church that I grew up in, the denomination that I grew up in, who would say that they've had some crazy, you know, spiritual experience. So that's not really the best way to weed out, you know, fake Christians from real Christians, because I know like a lot of Pentecostals or non-denominational Christians, they're typically the ones who have these sorts of visions and crazy experiences, or they claim to receive prophecy in their dreams, and that's, you know, they're just weird people. But, you know, the more fundamentalist Christians, they don't typically believe in that sort of thing. And so because they don't believe in that sort of thing, they don't have those experiences. You know, it's kind of funny how that works. So yeah, it's not the best question, but whatever. And I believe that Chance is a Christian. Tony has me a little sus, but I think Tony is a Christian. Yeah, I think Tony's a Christian.
I had a really similar experience when my father passed away.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you want to hear about it?
I don't I don't want to, I know we have a little, oh no.
A lot.
Okay.
The speed round was pretty horrifying. I didn't even know what to ask. I didn't even know where to start.
Yeah, that first round didn't really tell anything about anybody. I don't know any of them really any better than I did just judging them based off of their name and appearance. I'm still suspicious of Brandon. I think Brandon is my pick. It's either him or Andrew. That's who I think the atheists are.
So much pressure.
Don't worry, we're not watching.
First person I trusted was Brandon.
In the very beginning, him and I were talking. I was just like, all right, man, you and I.
No. Why would you trust Brandon? The dude looks so smug, man. He just looks like he's hiding something.
Packed till the end. We're just going to keep voting the same person.
Why are they voting for Grace? I don't get it. What did Grace do?
There has been a tie. 2 people, Romy and Grace. So, you guys vote again.
I don't get it.
Oh man, you guys.
Why? Why? What did he do? I wasn't suspicious of him at all.
You guys,
R.I.P. Romy.
you guys really messed up. I'm telling you right now.
Did we? I don't know.
I'm feeling disappointed because I feel like I was based off my overall look. I didn't even say anything. I was voted off, you know?
Yeah, I don't get why they voted Rami off. I mean, he didn't say anything. He didn't do anything suspicious. And he's the guy at the beginning, too, who didn't say, I am a Christian. He said, I am Christian.
I am Christian.
I am Christian.
That told me right off the bat that, yeah, he's definitely a Christian, because of the way he worded that. You know, he is Christian. You know, it's a part of him. It's not just a label. Based off of that alone, yeah, he's definitely a Christian. They definitely made the wrong choice. I don't know why they voted him off, but I guess they didn't have any more reason to vote anybody else off because nobody really said anything suspicious so far. But let's see how it continues.
I wanted to ask you, is your church queer friendly, LGBTQ friendly?
Yes, actually.
That's very unique. You don't see that in Alabama, but I am aware that they do exist, especially like in California and places like that. I think in New York there's some too. I'm sure they're scattered around everywhere, but I've never seen or heard of any in Alabama. But yeah, also because Sierra is saying that her church is queer friendly, then yeah, she's not making that up. She's definitely a Christian. Yeah.
Why did you choose a non-denominational church?
Because they have fog machines and strobe lights. That's why people go to non-denominational churches. And because you don't have to think, you know, you don't have to really study the Bible. You just kind of sit down and enjoy the strip show or whatever they do on stage, you know. You know, it's really entertaining, you know. You almost forget that you're in a church. Almost.
I mean, I was just born into it, so
Got it.
my dad's a pastor.
Anyone else a PK?
No.
I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's a PK?
Pastor's kid?
Yeah,
Oh,
pastor's
pastor's kid.
Yeah.
I've never even heard that.
Yeah, they're usually the bad kids at your school, so.
There's like certain terms I think a lot of people just know. I assumed his lack of knowledge meant he wasn't a Christian and he was trying to like...
That's not true, though. I mean, most likely if somebody's not a Christian, there's a pretty good chance that they grew up in the church and that they are very familiar with Christian terminology and such. You know, like, I'm not a Christian, I'm an atheist, but I'm very familiar with VeggieTales and, you know, Reliant K and Skillet and Brandon Heath. And, you know, I'm probably more familiar with Christian culture than a lot of more watered down Christians are, you know. So whereas like my wife's family, you know, they're Christians, but and I'm an atheist, but I know more about Christianity than they do. So, you know, that's not really a good way to judge if somebody's a Christian or not, because very oftentimes the atheist knows more about Christianity than some watered down Christian, like, you know, like my wife's parents.
How long have you been Lutheran?
My whole life.
Yeah?
You know, I grew up in Scandia, Minnesota, and like a big part of the town was the church. So I was
Okay.
baptized there.
Wow.
Do you go to a church?
Yeah, I go to this one out in Riverside. I just started going there about 2 months ago now. Because I grew up going to more of like a strict church, and then I kind of branched away from it and then went back.
What do you mean a strict church?
So I grew up Mormon.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's strict, it's strict.
You know, I kind of had to take my own path and figure out what worked best for me.
And that was when he left the church and religion altogether. Yeah, I'm not fooled. Brandon is he's definitely the atheist.
I've stepped away from church because it's hard for me to find a church, especially a Baptist church, that's accepting of the queer community, so
Yeah.
I stopped going.
Are you looking for something? Or are you
Not
just kind
actively. Halfway through my answer, I realized I probably shouldn't have said that.
But he wouldn't have said that if he was trying to fool everybody. So obviously he's still a Christian. He's just not going anywhere at the time because he hasn't found a church that he's comfortable with. But he is a Christian. I mean, geez, dude, like, don't vote him off. He's definitely a Christian. Brandon is the atheist. Come on, guys.
'Cause everyone else was like, oh yeah, they all actively go to church, and I was the only one like, I don't go to church now. And that's when I thought, maybe I should have kept that to myself.
But when I switched churches, like, people were taking it beyond judging and were making it like, they were like
They're going to vote Chance off. I bet they're going to vote Chance off.
condemning me.
Can you read that? I have really bad handwriting. He mentioned that he hadn't been to church in over 3 years, and I was just like, okay.
I know a lot of Christians who haven't been to church in over 3 years, though. I know a lot of Christians who just quit going to church forever ago just because they never found one, but they still consider themselves Christians, you know? Why are they voting Chance off? I don't get it.
Felt like his story about being a PK and coming in and out of his faith could have been an alibi.
He wanted to hear everyone else talk. Like, he kept asking them questions. Like, he didn't want to talk about his own experience.
That's true. See, I'm still suspicious of Andrew.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, Chad.
So, I think a good question would be like, how would you find your faith?
All right.
That would be a good question, but I feel like most Christians wouldn't be able to answer it anyway, because it's like, oh, I don't know, I just always was a Christian, you know, I grew up, I was watching VeggieTales from before I can even remember, you know, like, if you ask me, when did I find my faith, I couldn't tell you, you know, and I used to be a Christian, but there was never a point in time where I found my faith, you know, I just always believed. I mean, I always had a lot of faith. I had 100% faith in the Bible for up until, I'm not going to go into that story, but up until I was about 18, you know, so there was never a point where I discovered my faith. I don't think most Christians would be able to answer that, so that's not really going to narrow it down.
So I was actually an atheist before I was a Christian. Like, I was a hardcore atheist, and I was like super depressed. Like, I was like burdened by like my own life, I'd say. And then coming into a life where like you're just kind of getting abundantly filled up with.
See, Tony is definitely a Christian, and he has that youth pastor haircut and stuff, and he says that he used to be an atheist. It's kind of the typical story, you know.
Love from other people and from God especially.
So what made me go back into church, what really like pushed me is I had a really bad breakup. And it was like at this moment where I was at work and I watched this kid die, because I work in the ER. So watching the kid die and the family kind of go through those emotions of like trying to let go, I was like, man, like there's gotta be something like that can, you know, make me feel full and make me feel whole.
I believe that there has to be this higher power, and otherwise the ego takes us over, and God allows me to realize that there's more than just me.
I don't know how I feel about Andrew at this point.
As an artist, I think there's messages coming to me that I'm supposed to communicate through my art.
I'm still suspicious of Andrew, but I also don't think he pulled that out of his butt. You know, that seems like he's actually genuinely describing his faith. So I think I buy it. I think I buy Andrew's story. I think Andrew is a Christian.
I am a PK, so I was just born into it. It was like summer after 4th grade, my parents got divorced. And so I was kind of like straying away, you know, and especially divorce in the church is like a huge thing. So that was really hard, but I feel like that whole situation kind of like solidified my relationship, just so I knew, you know, there was always someone there for me, and my church was there for me too, you know?
I'm a little bit suspicious of Grace now. I really don't know. That story didn't seem the most honest. It seemed a little bit shallow. I'm a little bit suspicious of Grace at this point. It's a toss-up for me now. It's either Grace or Brandon, but I'm sticking to Brandon. I think Brandon is the atheist. Let's see.
Hi, Grace.
Bye.
They voted Grace out. That might have been the right answer, but I think it's Brandon. I can't believe he's fooling them. I don't know how they're not suspicious of him at this point.
You had a good question, right?
Yeah.
You said
so. You were talking about how like you kind of express yourself through art. Like I want to just have you elaborate on that. When he mentioned art as like his form of everything, I was just like, it doesn't really make too much sense.
Cool. Well, like one thing I love about the church is I love to sing.
Okay.
And growing up, my best memories of church were just singing in the choir. And when I moved out here, one of the hardest things was not having a church.
A lot of the people that go to my church have had similar backgrounds to me, which is they've been hurt by the church. Maybe a song like, "Oh, How He Loves Us" in the past was great for you, and then you were hurt by the church. Having those memories attached can actually make worship really hard.
Coming out here and starting that hunt for one that's like LGBTQ friendly and the right kind of like chemistry of people and the right kind of sermons, and I started looking and actually hearing about yours, I'm kind of like, wait a minute.
Give me the info.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be shook if one of these people are the moles.
Of course, they're going to vote Sierra off. Why not, you know? I don't know why they can't see that Brandon is obviously trying to fit in, and he's obviously hiding something. Everybody up there, Andrew, I'm pretty confident is a Christian. Sierra and Tony, definitely. Brandon, it just seems so obvious to me that he's trying to blend in, you know, and he's lying about all this stuff.
What?
Hi guys.
Wow.
Raise your hand if you think the mole is still in the square. If the lights turn green, you voted the liar out.
Nope, they're going to turn red because Brandon is the mole. I don't know how they can't see that.
If the lights turn red, the liar's still in the box and you lose.
My mind's
Oh,
gonna
I'm
blow
being
if
hurt.
they go red, dude. Cause I'm gonna feel really down.
So crazy.
3, 2, 1.
It's Brandon, guys. It's Brandon. I'm telling you, I've been telling you since I first freaking saw his face. He is the most obvious atheist, the most obvious fake Christian freaking ever. I don't know how they didn't see that. And we'll see. I'm telling you, it's Brandon.
Hi, I'm the mole.
What? What the heck? Oh my god. I did not see that coming. Wow, he really fooled me with his story about his art and stuff.
Yeah. I felt betrayed a little bit. I definitely was kind of feeling Andrew was like a Christian for sure.
I was shocked because Andrew, he talks like a lot of the youth pastors at my church, you know?
Because I'm gay, if anyone else was gay, I like wanted to be their friend. And I was like, oh, he's my friend. I'm not gonna vote for him because I really believe him. And then I was wrong, but that's okay.
Ah! Oh my gosh.
I was so confident that after 5 or 6 years of blending in with Christians and 20 plus years of spotting fake Christians out of real Christians, I thought for sure I would ace this challenge, but apparently not. Apparently I got fooled, so, you know. Let me know how you guys did in the comments below. Let me know who your pick was, who you thought was the fake Christian. And if you liked this video, click that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you have any videos you would like me to react to, or some video you would like me to respond to or give my thoughts on, comment the video down below or message me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. And if it's a really interesting video, I'll respond to it, react to it, or critique it, or just whatever the video calls for. So make sure you do that. I would really appreciate some submissions. If you want to help support this channel, you can go to Patreon and pledge $1 or whatever you feel comfortable with. And if you want to help my channel grow, either share this video or some of my other videos with your friends on social media, or if you have some friends specifically that you think would get something out of my videos, send them one of my videos and let them know that I have a lot more where that came from. Oh, and also I am just a few subscribers away from 666 subscribers, and I really want to hit that magic little number. So if you can do anything to help me get there, I would really appreciate it. But anyway, that does it for today. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next worship service.